I went to the food court and did something I think I need to apologize for.
Let's talk about that.
Hi, I'm Jonathan. I'm Ellie.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Josh.
And we're from Frederick, Maryland. Good Mythical Morning!
Good Mythical Morning.
This episode is brought to you by Catulas.com. That's the guys with the goods, including a complaint department. Please take a number. Grenade. Psych! It's a coffee mug.
It doesn't
Don't
work.
pull that, though. Don't pull it all the way out.
Is it a
because
real
it'll
grenade?
still explode.
I don't think so. Probably shouldn't even say that. It's just a joke. Okay.
It's empty right now.
Well, I went to the food court this past weekend, and I had some things happen there that I feel like we need to talk about. And
Okay.
I feel like there's somebody out there that I need to address today.
The tone that you're taking in this is the tone that a boss takes
Conciliatory?
when he asks an employee into his office and is going to fire him or reprimand him. It's like, something has come to my attention that I'd like for you to take a seat here so that we can talk about.
How did you know that I was going to fire you today?
This is not about, well, you don't have that power, my friend. But this is not about me, is it?
I think I do. Look at the corporate book.
I'm not going to be. We have a corporate book.
Yep. See?
No, for the record, I know that we do. If the lawyers are watching, we both know about the corporate book.
Okay.
And it's all filled out appropriately. But I'm not going to be reprimanded here. This is not going to be about
That's not
me,
about
right?
you.
Because
It's about
me. Okay, good.
It's about me and a certain special someone out there. Okay. We'll get into it. Okay, I took the boys out. I have two boys, Locke and Shepherd. They're children. They're my sons. I took them out on Saturday night to go shopping for Mom for Valentine's Day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Jesse was having some ladies over here at the house, and I felt like this would be a good opportunity to do this. And I was
she like playing backgammon or something?
Bridge. No,
Bridge.
she wasn't. It was just some women.
Like retired ladies?
I don't ask them what they do. They just, have us a good time, whatever. But I said, you know what? I've got to do shopping, which A, I don't like to do. B, I know my kids don't like to do. So I'm going to try to make this a fun experience for the boys. I call it boys' night. I call it boys' night. Hey, it's boys' night. And they're like, it's boys' night.
But you did shopping. You didn't shop. You did shopping.
Well, yeah, we did some shopping, and I was like, you know what's going to make this great for the family? Is if we go and we eat somewhere that the kids want to eat. And then I get over there to the...
Because none of them want to go shopping for Mom.
Oh, no, but we all want to eat. I go over there to the Glendale Galleria / Americana, that area over there. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, let me get on Yelp and see if there's some place that, we'll all enjoy. And I couldn't find anything. And I got frustrated, and then I said, well, I'll just go to the food court. Because... At the mall, you got the food court, you got the options, everybody can be happy. So I go in there, and first of all, as I'm always, I never cease to be amazed by the number of people in this town. You can't go anywhere at any time and not just be totally in a huge crowd. And
I thought you were going to say, I never cease to be amazed at the number of people in this town that blah, blah, blah,
love
blah, blah.
the food court. Well, first of all, the food court had a section that they were working on, so they had less seating than normal. And I go in there and I look
under construction,
and I see people, one person at no open tables, and a bunch of people like waiting with a cell phone at a table, like reserving a table at the food court, waiting for other people. And I was like,
that is despicable, man.
This is gonna be a nightmare. So then I'm like,
well, people holding spots at a food court?
Yeah, lots of people. I'm talking hundreds of people.
Just on cellular telephones?
Like, I found a table, George. Get over here. Get your Kung Pao chicken and get over here,
Now that makes me angry. I mean, it's like, especially if I'm with my kids, which is, it's a high pressure situation. I would be totally prepared at that point to say, once I get my food, I'm sitting down with somebody who's eating nothing but a cell phone. It's like, oh, you're eating your cell phone? No, you're just on. Well, then get up.
Well, I knew that I couldn't employ this technique because I've got children with me. Yeah, I can't put Shepherd, a 4-year-old, there with a cell phone. He doesn't even know how to use it. He'd be like playing a game on it.
Oh, you were going to play their game if you could? I'm saying you're supposed to crash.
No, I wasn't going to do it. I knew it wasn't even in the cards. I couldn't even do it.
Okay.
So I had to have a different strategy. But strategy one is, what are we going to eat? And so I'm like, okay, I look around and I'm like, my kids are really picky. I know they're not going to want to do one of these Asian things. And first of all, like at every food court,
It's like something a granddad would. Look at all these Asian things.
half of the options are Asian food. Have you noticed this? Like
Yeah.
food courts love Japanese, Chinese, Korean, and then Asian fusion.
Or Cajun, which I'm pretty sure it at least rhymes with Asian.
It does, Asian Cajun. And there's actually an Asian Cajun place in North Carolina.
Yeah,
you know
there
that
is.
place?
Yeah.
What are they thinking?
I think it's just Cajun, but we're just mistaken.
And so I'm like, that almost rhymed. I'm thinking, well, okay, what am I going to do? Pizza. Kids love pizza. So I take them up to the little pizza
Sbarro.
place. It's not a Sbarro. And I show them the pizza. And I'm like, boys, doesn't that look good? And I look at both of them. And there's like lots of toppings on the pizza. And they're both like, oh. And then they see a McDonald's sign.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Trust
And
me.
then Shepard's like, I want to go to McDonald's. I want a cheeseburger. And listen, I know there's these parents out there that they don't let their kids eat McDonald's and it's all natural and stuff like that. Listen, this is boys' night. No rules. We're going to do what we can. And if my 4-year-old wants a cheeseburger, Happy Meal, that's what he's going to get. And so I go over there and Locke says, well, I don't want to go to McDonald's. I want to go to Subway. And I'm like, I don't want to go to either place. I want to go to this Japanese place over here. Okay. I want to go to the Asian place because there's so many Asian options.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, we got to play this right. So we go to the McDonald's first. We get a Happy Meal with a toy, a little Transformer toy. It's a 2-part toy, which I know that spells trouble to begin with. Now I've got a 4-year-old with a cheeseburger and a toy that has 2 parts.
Just tell him he's got 2 toys.
Look,
Look, 2 toys.
Well, then he loses one and he's lost. He loses half of it and he's lost the whole toy. That's a bad idea.
Oh.
So then I'm like, okay, all right, I'm going. We get that, and I hold on to the little Happy Meal. I'm walking around with a Happy Meal because I'm not going to let. Who knows what'll happen if I actually give it to Shepard ahead of time, right? And so
Might find a bar, sit down, order a drink, and he can eat his Happy Meal.
And so then I go over to the Subway and I'm like, Locke, what do you want? And he's like, I want a buffalo chicken on Italian with cheddar cheese and bacon. Like that's what he wanted. He toasted. So I'm like, well, this is like the
Is
Locke
he communicating
special.
telepathically with them? Like,
No, it's just, this is sort of symbolic of he's really thought about this. And so I go up there and I'm like, okay, 6-inch Italian buffalo chicken
with cheddar.
with cheddar cheese and bacon. And
Toasted.
They kind of look at us like, okay. And then they toast it and they bring it out and they're like, what do you want on it? He's like, nothing, just like that. No toppings. They just fold it up and they give it to him. I'm like, okay, he's happy. Now we got to find a seat because I've got to order my food. And I'm like, I can use my kids as like a marker and put them down and let them start eating and then go to a place that's close to their table and like keep one eye on them.
Well,
so they don't
because
get
at
kidnapped.
least they do have food. So
Right.
they could eat.
Right.
And save you a seat.
Here's the problem. Still no available seating. However, I look at the far door next to the entrance. You can come right in from the outside. There's an entrance to the outside right there at the end of the food court down this little hallway area. And it's freezing outside and the doors keep opening. So there's this draft coming in and nobody's sitting there. I'm like, that's our seat.
Or that's your kid's seat?
So I go and I set Locke and Shepard down at this drafty table. I'm like, put your coats on, boys, and start eating. And then I'm like, I'm going to this Japanese place over here that's, within 50 yards of here. And at this moment,
50 yards.
when I'm about to sit them down, this is where I need to apologize to somebody. I'm a little flustered, okay? I'm a little flustered. I've got a Happy Meal in my hand. Locke's got his crazy Subway sandwich, and I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to eat and where they're going to sit. And a guy says, Rhett! He's sitting down eating, and a guy recognizes, Rhett! From Rhett and Link! And I'm like, yeah. And I'm really frustrated with the whole situation.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, nice to meet you. Now, I'm usually, and if you see us in public and you like what we do and you want to say hey, come up and say hey. We'll get a picture. It'll be a great time, usually. Now, you, sir, I don't know your name because I didn't ask it because I was frustrated. I was flustered. And I just said, yeah. And then I said, nice to meet you. I probably didn't even smile.
I think you missed an opportunity here. That guy was your food court babysitter. You were about to leave your kids 50 yards away at an exit
He looked like
while
he was
you went
on-
to the Japanese.
He's just a stranger, though. He's just a stranger.
He's a fan, He's a mythical beast,
Well,
You
can't
he's,
trust all of them.
No,
And
you
he looked like
can't.
he was on a date of some kind anyway. I don't want to screw up his date. Make him babysit.
Sure, lose your kids via the exit to the food court, or it's neither here nor there.
And so you, sir, I apologize for that.
What did you say to him? I mean, was there a rude look on your face? Like,
I just know that I was...
get away.
I know I was short with him. I could feel it. I could feel myself being curt. And I don't mean your cousin. I mean,
Yeah.
Kurt.
Short.
And and so I apologize for that. But anyway, I sit them down. I go to the Japanese plate. I keep one eye on the Japanese food being made, and I keep one eye on my kids. And they're like shivering eating over there. I'm like, it's good for them. They're gonna learn something from this. No one tries to kidnap them. I get my food. I go over there and I finish my meal. I gotta say, I didn't enjoy this.
It didn't sound like you have.
And then Shepard loses the one half of the toy that he got.
He did?
And cries for 10 minutes. The best dad in the world.
I'm still angry about the people holding seats for just the cell phones. I was angry from that point, and the frustration just built for me. But when I take my kids somewhere, it's a building frustration of just, can I keep this together? I would never take them to a food court.
And you've got
in
an
that
extra
situation.
kid.
Yeah, I've got one more
But you
kid.
wear them on like a backpack or something, don't you?
Well, I put one of them in a backpack sometimes, and but I've never done the leash thing.
Yeah, you shouldn't leash your kids.
Now, if I took my kids to that food court, you know what I would do? I would say, all right, kids, you see that guy with the plate? Those are samples. And then if you look, there's another guy with samples. There's a girl with samples. There's a girl with samples. We're going to form a single file line, and we're going to get us some samples.
And that's it.
And by the time we go around once, the first sample giver will have forgotten that we got a sample, and we're going to go through again.
You just change the order. You put
Yep.
Lando in front the next time.
Yep. It just maybe I bring masks or some sort of costuming.
You get a sample dinner.
Sample dinner, totally free. You get your exercise at the same time.
And
That's what I would have done.
And you teach your kids how to take advantage of the system.
And fans would have been like, Link, and I'd have been like, yo, hey guys, hey, take a photo. Everything would have been great. But that's just me. That's what I would have done. Rhett announces he's leaving Good Mythical Morning for a new career. All right. Thanks for joining us. I feel like we're about to turn a corner in awesomeness with this show.
Let me tell you about it. We're about to turn a corner. Literally, I'm going to start bobsledding.
What?
I didn't know how to say this, and I just figured I just need to be right out there with you on this because I got asked to be the anchor for the Jamaican bobsledding team because, as I've established before, I'm actually half Jamaican. And I've always expected that I might get this call. I got the call. It's a dream of mine. But unfortunately, it's going to mean that we got to shut this thing down. Now, there's an opening for the second guy in the bobsled because he has to have no skill at all. He just sits there. And so I thought you could do that.
Well, the way I see it, there's also an opening here for a guy who just sits here.